Picture this. A retiree walks into her pharmacy, taps her debit card, and it gets declined. She opens her banking app right there at the counter. The money is sitting in her account. Nothing is missing. So why is she suddenly locked out of her own money? In 2026, two big changes hit how older Americans get paid and how their banks handle their cash. Almost nobody got a real warning. And for a lot of people, the first time they find out is standing at a checkout counter, completely confused. But this story doesn't start at that pharmacy counter. It starts with a single piece of paper signed in 2025. An executive order with a boring name, Modernizing Payments, to and from America's bank account. Behind that dull title was a decision that would quietly end something millions of seniors had relied on for decades. The paper check in the mailbox. So what actually happened? That order, Executive Order 1424/7, told federal agencies to stop mailing paper checks and move everything to electronic payments. The target date was the end of September 2025. And it does not just touch Social Security. It covers veterans' benefits and tax refunds from the IRS too. The reasoning is mostly about money and theft. The Treasury estimates that printing and mailing a single check costs more than $3, and that a paper check is about 16 times more likely to be lost, stolen, or altered than a direct deposit. So from the government's side, the paper check was expensive and risky. From a senior's side, it was simply how the money showed up every month. Now before anyone panics, here is the part most people never heard. This change affects a small group. Fewer than 1% of beneficiaries, a few 100,000 people out of tens of millions, were still getting paper checks by the time the deadline arrived. If your Social Security already lands in your bank account every month, nothing about your payment changes. You do not need to do anything. The surprise is hitting the specific group who still open an envelope each month. And if that is you or your parent, this next part matters. There are two ways to get paid that follow the new rules. The first is direct deposit, where your benefit goes straight into a checking or savings account at a bank or credit union on your payment date. The second is for people who do not use a bank at all. It is called the Direct Express Card, a prepaid debit card run through the government's Go Direct program. Your benefit loads onto the card each month, and you spend it like any debit card. Switching over is simpler than it sounds. You can log into a My Social Security account online and update your banking information, or you can ask your own bank or credit union to send your account details to the Social Security Administration for you. And for the rare person who genuinely cannot make the switch, there is a hardship waiver available through the Treasury. The door is not slammed shut, but the default, going forward, is electronic. Think about that for a second. A payment method that existed for generations got retired in a single year, and most of the people affected found out from a declined card or a missing envelope, not from a phone call. But the paper check was only the first change, and this one was not about how you get paid anymore. It was about whether you can move your own money once it is sitting in the account. There is one detail almost everyone missed. Over the last couple of years, more than 30 states, well over half the country, passed what are called safe harbor laws. In plain English, these laws let your bank put a temporary hold on a transaction if it reasonably suspects an older adult is being financially exploited. By January of 2026, these protections were active across most of the nation. On top of that, banks now run automated monitoring that watches for transfers that look unusual for you. A big, one-time payment, a transfer to a brand new recipient. A sudden wire to an account the bank has never seen before. The intention behind this is genuinely good. Scammers steal billions from seniors every year through romance schemes, fake grandchild emergencies, and cryptocons. These laws are meant to be a tripwire that stops the money before it disappears. There is a catch, though. That same tripwire cannot tell the difference between a scam and your real life. If you withdraw a large amount to pay a contractor for a new roof, or you send money to help a grandchild with tuition, the system can flag it as suspicious. Under the old way of doing things, a quick call to the bank usually cleared everything up in minutes. Now, in many cases, a flagged transaction triggers a formal internal review that can last several business days while the bank investigates your own spending. So yeah, your money is safe. It is also, temporarily, not yours to touch. For someone living check to check on a fixed income, a hold that drags on for a week is not a minor annoyance. It is a missed electric bill. If this is already making you rethink how you would handle a big transfer this year, subscribe before we go on. This channel breaks down the Social Security and banking changes that actually hit your wallet in plain language every week. Alright, so here is where this gets practical. Because there is a defensive playbook and the people who use it almost never get stuck, the single most important move is this. Name a trusted contact person on every account you have. This is someone, an adult child, a spouse, an attorney, that the bank is allowed to call if a transaction looks off. With a trusted contact on file, a 15-day freeze can turn into a 15-minute phone call because the bank just confirms with your person that the transfer is real. Second, get ahead of it. If you know a large or unusual payment is coming, a roof, a car, a gift for the grandkids, call your bank first and tell them. A transaction they are expecting almost never gets frozen. Third, keep a small cushion of money you can always reach, even a modest emergency fund, so a short delay on one account never leaves you stranded. And fourth, turn on account alerts and keep every account active, since automated systems sometimes flag accounts that have sat untouched for a long time. None of this is complicated. It just has to be done before you need it, not after. You would think the bank would walk every senior through these steps when the rules changed. Mostly, nobody did, which is exactly why a video like this one exists. Up to now, everything we have covered has been about rules built to help you. This last part is about people trying to use those same rules against you. So pay attention to this, because it explains a lot of the fear floating around. Scammers love confusion. The moment headlines started talking about paper checks ending and accounts getting frozen, the phone calls started. Someone claiming to be from Social Security, warning that your benefits are about to stop, asking you to verify your Social Security number or your bank account to keep the payments coming. The truth that cuts through all of it is simple. The Social Security Administration will never call, email, or text you demanding payment, threatening your benefits, or asking for your Social Security number or bank details out of the blue. And no one, anywhere, can legally sell you a special exception to keep getting paper checks for a fee. If you get a message like that, it is a scam, full stop. When in doubt, ignore the message and check your own My Social Security account directly. The real information is always there, and it never costs a dime. Step back, and the pattern is clear. The whole system is moving in one direction. Money is going digital, and banks are adding more friction in the name of safety. That is not going to reverse anytime soon. So now you know both changes that caught so many people off guard this year. Paper checks for federal payments are gone, with direct deposit or the Direct Express card taking their place. And new state laws let banks freeze suspicious transfers, which is why a trusted contact and a quick heads up to your bank matter more than ever. The people who get blindsided are the ones who never heard. The people who stay in control are the ones who set this up early. If you want next week's breakdown, the one on the changes coming to your monthly Social Security deposit amount, subscribe and it will be waiting for you.